talk to me a little bit about this merger. So you say that it will go through. I believe you were in the U.S. in the last couple of weeks. Who did you speak to, and what makes you think that it will be approved?
Look, I was just in the US last week, and we have now 1 year of approval process for the process. Thousands of contacts we have had, in Washington, the politicians in the areas across the US, and trying to, to convince customers and the politicians about this, the 5G network which we want to build there in the US, thinking about the competitiveness which we have created over the years, which we want to strengthen with the merger of Sprint. And in the first half of the year, this 2019, we are waiting to get an approval for this transaction. We got already the approval from the CFIUS authorities, so from the services on this transaction, and now we're looking forward to DOJ and the FCC.
But give me a little bit of your impression. So you went there, you met with regulators. Did they say anything? What do you think they're still looking at? Like, what did it feel like being over there?
No. Look, I'm not speculating at all. We have provided tons of material, analytical work, and even, our own conviction about how we want to drive the market and how we want to change, let's say, the competitive landscape in the US against the big two giants, AT&T and Verizon. I think that has been said. And now all this information, get, digested, and we are optimistic on this transaction going forward because we know what we're doing is good for creating a leading 5G infrastructure in the US, as we did in all our other markets as well on 4G, and on the side for the customers, because we need a countrywide coverage with good value for money.
Tim, good morning. You and the guy in the pink shirt have the greatest success in smartphones,
morning,
and that
Tom.
is the market share expansion of T-Mobile in America. It's absolutely extraordinary, folks, what they did, and trust me, I was the biggest doubter of the strategy going forward. You've got a problem. Deutsche Telekom uses Huawei equipment. T-Mobile says they do not use Huawei equipment. Isn't the quickest way for you to solve this is to lose Huawei?
Look, the first thing, it's not pink, it's magenta. And the second thing is not only the US which is growing, it's all our markets which are growing in magenta. We had, a 3% revenue growth, and we had a 7.8% EBITDA growth and 18% cash flow growth. So this is the DNA. Magenta is wherever we are, we want to be, let's say, the Un-carrier. Now, that said, on the equipment side in the US, we're not using Chinese equipment, so we do not have that discussion at all in the US. And in Europe, we have built a multi-vendor strategy over the year.
Yeah, but can you tell?
We're deploying
Tim,
Cisco, Nokia, Ericsson, Huawei.
Tim, this is critical. Tim, this is critical. Can you tell EU regulators watching this interview right now that Huawei's okay in Europe if it's not okay in the United States?
Look, the decision is, security of the infrastructure is the most important component. And there are different layers of the network. Ones, where you do not have any kind of security issues, and others which are more critical when it comes to the core network side. At the end of the day, the services and the political leaders, they have started a process to allocate, let's say, all the insights on this kind of stuff, and they will come up with a conclusion on that one. It's not on us to decide on that one. It will be decided from the political leaders. And we are supporting this process, and therefore, I think we have to make sure that all vendors, which telecommunicators are using, that these services are secure.
Yeah, but Tim Hoettges, I understand that and I respect that. But actually, if there's a security breach because of the way 5G also doesn't have a central nervous system, it's not going to be the regulators or the politicians that will be blamed for it. It will be the chief executives of private companies, public companies.
Look, but, it's nothing new for us that security is the most important, value which we have. We have to build always the trust on our infrastructures. And by the way, this entire discussion is nothing new for us. We have looked into the source codes. We have looked into all the details of what vendors, all vendors, are providing into our infrastructure already in the past. And we will make this more transparent. We will make it even, if there are new requirements from the political side which we have to fulfill, we will do so. But, we are not deciding today on, whether we take this vendor or not that vendor. I think it's a question about the technical benchmarks which we have to deliver on this.
Okay, what will you do with your BT investment in light of Brexit? Do you increase it or do you get out?
Look, I think the BT has done a lot, let's say, to improve the performance. We were disappointed over the last years, as the biggest investor in this company. Now, looking forward, I see a lot of, let's say, good traction from the management, from the operational side, from the customer orientation, from the build-out for the infrastructure, both on the open reach, but as well on the mobile side. So, look, I think when the markets are, bearish, it's always too bearish, and if they're bullish, they're always too bullish. I think now there is a lot of, let's say, momentum which I see going forward. So therefore, we stay where we are, and will participate in the turnaround and improvement of that business.